All right, my friends, let me explain my situation and apologize for the delay. I'm always early, but unfortunately, right before the this video, uh, residual rain coming down right now, which I'm not too happy about because I don't want it to infiltrate my phone. But the weather channel was once again wrong by like 54%, and it rained for a couple hours and it went longer than it was supposed to. And but let me do one other thing here before. USA, USA, that's right. We all Americans. We celebrate this Independence Day and the liberation of Germany, or I don't know, something to do with Germany. I don't know. I do like Campground anyway. So so the funniest thing, like I'm literally in the van trying. I haven't eaten since yesterday, like early yesterday. I'm trying to, I want to cook a meal. I'm trying to do things. I want to video a meal. And then, like, literally, I'm like, my phone's draining and stuff like that. And then, at, for the first time ever, the male camp host, he comes over and texts me right before going live to confirm I had a reservation. I'm like, yeah, man, no problem. You guys are great. I've always, I've done videos about you guys and blah 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 and all this. So anyway, I ended up, finding the reservation in my email. The confirmation showed it to him. Because I don't know why, but for some reason, site 13, 14, 15, I've had issues, and they're not showing up on his feed or whatever he checks. So I was like, all right, no problem, man. I love you guys. You do a great job. I did a video about you guys. But he's really cool. He's former law enforcement, so I do respect. I think they're from like Chicago or somewhere. I forget where. My wife told me one time, like somewhere out there. But so I just pretty much wanted to touch base with you guys. I kind of was getting my thoughts together, and then they kind of like all scattered when I got questioned. Like I was a transient, a homeless person, or something like that. Imagine that. Imagine that. Somebody thinking I'm a homeless person. So I showed my credentials, and he goes, what are you doing here? I got a normal job. Do what you do, just go around. Don't. I'm like, yeah, but I pay for it, but hey, I work. I have a normal job like normal people. So I guess he was like, part of his law enforcement background came out. But yeah, it sucks when you're treated like secondary citizen, just for trying to deal with life and make positive things happen. But I'm not sure if I shared this with you guys yet or not. I can't remember. I thought I did. Maybe it was a failed video. I don't remember. But I found this cluster of something or other. I have no idea what it was. I forget where I even found it, to be honest with you. I'd have to go back and look at my videos. But it's crazy. It's kind of like somewhat lightweight, but it's a really weird configuration. And I thought if I ever got back into like whittling and like doing like waterfowl, carvings or something like that, that would be cool. I was never great at it, to be honest with you, but hopefully I can retire and become, better at it. But I thought that was just really unique and weird. I have no idea what those things are, but they look like they have fun. It looks like about, I don't know, eight, probably eight, I would call them like monkey ball type things, but they're not really monkey balls type creatures. I don't know what they are. I don't even know if I'm legally allowed to possess them, to be honest with you. I just thought it was kind of cool. Found that in my travels. But yeah, so forgive me, the people. If anybody's commenting on the screen, I can't see the screen from, I can't see the comments from here. So please bear with me. Um, man, I had this whole train of thought I wanted to talk to you guys about uh, today, but the campground popo showed up. I got a little distracted. So I will tell you this. This morning, a couple weird events happened this week that I shouldn't say weird, but I had to evaluate my stance on this. A couple weeks ago, the guy, a customer that comes in and work all the time, really nice guy. I don't, to be honest with you, I don't even know his first name, but he's one of those guys. He's like a politician. He runs around shaking everybody's hand, knows everybody. Real good disposition guy, and but he has a prosthetic leg, and he by his own self admission has some mental health problems at times, and so he's in a relationship with a lady somewhere local or something like that. And it doesn't sound like it's been going too great. It sounds like she almost uses him based on his side of the story. But a couple weeks ago, no big deal, right? This sounds petty or crazy, but he comes up to me and he gets all like stuttered and tongue tied and all this. He's basically trying to ask me for money. I'm like, no problem, what do you? He asked me for like whatever it was, like $2 or $3, and it was no big deal, right? And like he was like a week out from collecting whatever check he gets from the government or disability or whatever it was. So he ends up every time I see him, he's like, "Oh man, I'm just I'm like, dude, I'm not even worried about it. To be honest with you, I totally forgot about it. What like what's going to change my life? It's not. Don't worry about it." So he comes in last night. No, wait, today's Sunday. So it would have been Friday, and we were slammed, with all kinds of nonsense with work and just going. And he comes up and he looks a little different, I guess you could say. Maybe I don't want to say tipsy, but I don't know if it was like he told me he's on medication for different things, but eventually he was trying to ask me for money, and it's hard, when if you're struggling, when you're trying to survive, and I understand, why he was just really different. It's more than just like asking for money. He was like it was almost like he was medicated somehow or something like that. But so he basically gets around asking me if he could, borrow some money. I get my next check on Tuesday. I get two government checks or whatever it was, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like trying to be cool with people because I've had my struggles, and I ended up pulling out a little bit of money. It looked like I had a wad, but it was mostly ones, to be honest with you. But so I pull out a 20, and I said, will 20 help you? And he goes, well, I'd really appreciate it, if you could do 30. And I'm like, I can pay you back on two. I'm like, all right, well, whatever. So I give it to him because at that moment in time, I remembered like, but his his he was going to like some little downtown outside bistro. That was the night before the big events and the fireworks and all that. So uh, I just did it, and the only thing I'm kind of concerned about now is that like he's going to keep trying to come to the well, and I feel like at this point in time the well's going to have to be empty. Uh, I just feel like something's amiss there, you know what I mean? But anyway, that's not what I came on here to talk about. But like I said, man, I had so many things to talk about, so many things planned. The, the female camp host is back here with her blower, blowing things around, trying to clean up their property. Her husband came and checked me out, make sure I was, legally here, and pretty much just trying to chill out. I'm glad the rain stopped in time. I might have been a minute or two late. I apologize for that. I will go back and read the comments and reply to the comments. To be honest with you, I wanted to have everything prepared in the fire pit here, so I could, do my camp meal. My camp meal is pretty much going to be some different veggies, but basically the basic ingredients can be sauerkraut. This was supposed to be the meal yesterday. It never happened yesterday. Uh, because I got a visitor and then it got too late and stuff like that. But I'm gonna have sauerkraut and gooey sausage, uh, beer. I have beer brats and some different seasoning, some pig sweet seasoning mix and stuff like that. I'm gonna do on the campfire. I've never stayed at this campsite. It's number 15. My friends Philip and Coco. Their YouTube channel is I think it's called. They rebranded. I think their channel name is now called Life with Philip and Coco or something like that. But they used to go by living that Florida life. And I don't know if you guys remember, maybe there's some new people that don't know, but they like this site. They really love this site. So when I knew my two favorite sites were not available, I decided to reserve this site in their honor. And it's kind of crazy that the day that I accidentally met them, I walked by this site to use the restroom. And I kept thinking, that guy looks kind of familiar. That guy looks kind of familiar. And then came back, went to the van. I was in there chilling out. Then finally, I came up to the guy, Philip. I should call him the guy because now I know his name. That's probably not polite. But I said, by any chance are you on YouTube? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, all right. Any chance do you guys go by, living that Florida life? He was like, yeah. He was freaking out, right? I wasn't say totally freaking out, but he was like, maybe that was the first for them, and it was kind of first for me to see somebody I follow on YouTube. So he runs in. His wife was in the middle of a recipe, doing a YouTube video, doing some type of recipe. I forget what it was, but so anyway, that's why I'm here at Site 15. The boat ramp's right there. Somebody is doing something right off the not the the little boat ramp, the little dock area. The pier is right in front of me, and the restrooms are over here to my left. And I don't know why they don't. I don't know what the deal is with this old bathhouse. For whatever reason, for at least a year or so, maybe a year and a half, at least that I know of, that's been closed down. So it would almost be cool if they could do like a open up an area, like a little thing, at least have some vending machines in there. Maybe with snacks, chips, whatever. Or have some type of ice dispenser or something. I don't know, but it just seems like that's a pretty valuable piece of real estate. There's only like 15 campsites here, or sites. Uh, you think they could make money throughout the day, especially with kids, if you have community or whatever. But and I've totally forgotten what I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah, so I had about 6 pieces of wood left over from my camp journey yesterday at Mystic Springs Recreation Area. So I load it. A lot of times I'll leave them. I let I loaded them in the van, and then here we are. And then I realized when I got all the way to Baker, Florida, I ran to a couple things. I kept thinking like everything's so smooth. This is great. I feel like I'm screwing something up. Oh yeah, I got to Baker, Florida. Guess what? A couple things. One, I couldn't find anybody around that had firewood because I needed a little bit more, to do it correctly. So I asked the lady at the Pick and Save in Baker, anywhere I can find firewood. She's like, no, but we do have those, whatever they call it, Instalogs, whatever. So I go back there. I find one for like $3.55, supposed to last up to 3 hours. And I'm like, that's probably a pretty good improv. I can do that, at its, so the camp host who was just interrogating me, checking me out, said there's supposed to be some wood over there at campsite 2. That's vacant currently, so I'm gonna go over there and look, and then I'm gonna do a late night blaze, hopefully. But man, there's more I wanted to tell you. I bought funniest thing. Talking about being unprepared. I get all the way to this campground right here. Like I'm literally like turning into the entrance, which is like about a mile up the road here through the woods. And I realized, daggone it, G-Money, you forgot your cold snacks. I'm like, oh crap. So I pull in here and just see if, at least, since I was already made a decision, I was here, see if it was vacant yet. So then I had to go back into Baker, Florida. And I go back into Baker, and I know that the Pick and Save does not sell any type of beer or wine or anything like that prior to like 1 p.m. Some stupid incorporated town rule that they have. Once again, I apologize. I cannot see the comments from this distance, but I will certainly reply once I get a chance. But so I ended up, for whatever reason, I thought about that prior, and then when I left, it all happened. So then I go back into Baker, and literally like 100, 150 yards from the Pick and Save is a Dollar General. So I go in there in my infinite wisdom and knowledge that I possess, because that's what I do. I decided I'm gonna get a 6 vanilla candle and a 15 pack of Coors Light. Just I have extra on hand just in case I'm stranded. And they're like, "Sir, we can't sell alcohol until 1 o'clock." I'm like, "Oh crap, I forgot about that." So then I had to drive like about a mile down the road to the Cesco, which must be outside of their jurisdiction. So I get that. So it's like I'm kind of pissed because everything was flowing so smoothly, and then now I'm out of here. I finally get out of here, and I'm kind of like doing a couple little things, feeling like I'm making progress. And then I saw the weather, and I'm like, midday could kind of ruin my parade. But here's the other thing: I bought this charcoal. I bought this yesterday. This was kind of a funny story too. So when I was going to Mystic Springs Recreation Area, I've got everything in line. Everything is perfect. The last thing I need is Mystic Springs is out in BFE. I mean, it's like in the middle of nowhere. So I'm like, all right, no problem. I can get the ice at the Dollar General, like 10 or 12 miles from the campground. No problem. I can do that. I stop there. I get the 6 vanilla candle, and they're like, no, we're out of ice. So I end up having to double back, go back into, basically like Molino is what it's called, or, that area. I don't know where the delineation of Tillman, Molino, and Walnut Hill is, but basically I had to go back towards Pensacola, and so I stop at a convenience store and I'm doing my thing, get that really nice. I bought my floppy hat. I don't know if you saw the video yesterday, but kind of cool. Here's the Campground Popo. He's waved to me. Nice guy, really nice guy. I respect his duties in law enforcement. So that's kind of cool. Actually, it's not even him. Somebody else. But he's just chilling out. Oh, I don't know who that is. He's got real long 2-man shoes here. Doing shot apparently. He's going around on the little side by side, picking up whatever they do. But so yeah, so I had to get the ice. I had to go back. And it's just like it's so crazy. It's every time I go camping, like many other campers talk about this all the time. There's always that one thing you forget. That one thing you forget. Your brain is so hemorrhaged with thoughts and ideas, and so that was my bad. And then I was actually having a really good night last night, chilling. Originally, I was going to do a podcast with James Emmons from Florida Outdoor Sportsman, and I had rescheduled because my battery capabilities, which is probably not looking great right now. But let me interrupt this broadcast to remind you: USA, USA, Independence Day. That's why we live for freedom. We live for our freedom. But yeah, so anyway, so late at night, got all this going on, and James shows up in the dark wee hours of the night, which is I love the guy. Don't get me wrong, but then I realized like, oh my gosh, like I was about to cook a meal, and we get to talking. We probably talk. I don't know how long. It's probably at least a good hour or so. And then I kind of wanted to, save some charge, to do some, sounds of nature, for some type of big-toed, big-footed type creature out there. It kind of like never fell into place, but I was out there by the fire pit for a while. I had a, somewhat of a good time, but here I am. It's really peaceful right now. It's actually the temperatures have dropped. If I had to guess right now, it's probably in the low 80s because we had a little bit of rain. Uh, it's just so peaceful out here. There's only one, two, three, four, five campers out here other than myself. The people that were at site number 9 that I wanted to reserve. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Might be 6. They are still there. So yeah, I prefer site number 8 and number 9. Kind of faces the wooded area. It's more isolated. Like I said, Philip and Coco, they really like this site for some reason. It has some sentimental, meaning to them. It's close to the fishing pier. Philip likes to fish. There's like a little boat ramp. I will say this in all seriousness, as I'm looking around right now, most of these picnic tables are semi-level. This one is pretty level. The site number 14 here, that picnic table is pretty level, so it's kind of good. All these sites out here at Merrick Lake North, this is in Okaloosa County, Florida. They all have water and different attachments for the RVs and electric and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm just trying to enjoy life. It's been kind of crazy, and it's just I'm ready to retire. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm ready to retire. I mean, like officially retire. Uh, if I could find a way to do that, I'm one scratch off away from prosperity or failure. I don't know, just crazy. But I do have my water here. Well, I do have the fire tonight. This fire ring is kind of weird because there's probably that much of a gap around the bottom where I've never seen that at a fire ring before. Usually there's build up, and that could be good or bad. It allows ventilation in there, but I suspect the wood's going to burn faster. It's not really windy right now, so it may not be that much of a factor, but there is airflow in there. We're going to see what happens. I'm going to try and make America great again. I'm going to clean up this grate a little bit, do my best with manual graders, graders. Real great scrub, thingy-majiggy. That's a official term, thingy-majiggy. But yeah, so if I have enough charge, I'm gonna. Oh, you know what I was gonna say? I was gonna go to the JJ's Lifted Horizons tonight, but just got a notification of a cancellation on his live tonight due to technical difficulties or something, relocating or whatever. He's a trucker, so we got to give him some grace. But when you get a chance, go out check like the droning veteran. Yeah, let me try that again. I always say the droning veteran. It's droning veteran. That's a YouTube channel. There's media. There's Shade Tree America. He hasn't done a whole lot lately because he's got a lot of things on his plate. But when he does, I promise you it's going to be really good. Let me see, who else am I missing? DJ Giggles and Drones or whatever. I always get his channel name mixed up. He does a lot of droning stuff, and there's all kinds of good people. He started re-engaging with Sunfish King. Pretty much like just. I need to double check this. I haven't even thought about it until just now as I'm traveling. I don't even know if he does YouTube. I know he does a lot of stuff on Facebook, Instagram, Discord, and stuff like that. But tried to re-engage with him recently, so we've touched base, said hello basically a few times. You can always check out Ted from Off the Hook Outdoors. I haven't really watched a whole lot of him because every time he seems to go live, it's when I'm working, and it's before my dinner break or whatever. So I try to take a late dinner break. So let my crew at work get through their dinner breaks, and then I prolong my discomfort until later, and then if I have peace and quiet, when I'm in the break room, stuff like this never seems to happen. But uh, anyway, so it's beautiful out here. It's so beautiful out here right now. It's quiet. Now it's like I do hear a faint sounds of some type of aircraft going above. But it's beautiful, man. Let's get outside. Let nature soothe your soul. Just enjoy, freedoms we have, because, we can live in different countries where we may not be allowed to do this, on a regular basis. Shout out to some special friends. I've already mentioned some good channels. Uh, I will say Melinda Dobson's always at the top of the list. High character individual, really cool follower. Robert Grow. Oh, by the way, oh my gosh, I wanted to have this ready before I got busted by the park popo, but we none of the 10 ducks that we dropped at the Milton duck races did finish in the top three. I had three names. I did a screenshot, sent that to uh, Jason Johnson, just the CYA, and then if you want to go to either the City of Milton, Florida Facebook site, you can check it there. It'll confirm the top three finishers. And if you also want to go to the Blackwater Pirates, Pirates with a Y, their Facebook page, they also list the top three winners, which was none of us. So what I'm going to be doing in the near future, I say near, I mean like within the next 30 days, depending, Social Security payment next, but I've already committed that the money that I donated to the Ducks, I was hoping for any of our hypothetical winners, donate the money to the charity. If we did not win, then I was going to redonate, what I invested. Initially, I think I said $40, but I ended up adding two more ducks. So I'm going to donate $50 to the Lee and Betty Johnson Memorial Charity. And here's another thing. I don't remember if I did this privately or publicly, but the city of Milton has their Santa Rosa. I don't remember the exact. I always screw this up. Santa Rosa Veterans Memorial Site, whatever they call that. And they have a lot of engraved bricks there. So I found out that you can buy an engraved brick for $50, and the maximum amount of characters for each brick is 18 characters, including spaces, and only 2 lines on a brick. So I have, trying to remember how I had it spaced out, but I had it spaced out exactly 18 and 18. So I'm going to be donating a brick to represent Lee and Betty Johnson. Even though it's in Milton, Florida, it's I like I said, I know it's going to say Lee/Betty Johnson, U.S. Army WW2 or something like that. But basically, that was going to be the 2 lines, and so I'm excited to make that happen. I finally got correspondence back from Miss Vicki Powers in Milton. I'm assuming she's Milton, Florida. 850 area code, which we reached out. Really nice lady, super nice lady. But she basically said that they send out the bricks in batches. So it's not like if you order a brick, they're going to send it to the engraver. Like I had a feeling, like I thought maybe at least 10. She's telling me when I was talking to her on the phone at the time, which has probably been about a week now, that they had approximately 7 or 8, and she sends them to the engraver like in batches of 20. And she says once the engraver finishes the engraving, the process, and everything, once the city of Milton gets it back, they are placed in the ground the next day. So I asked to be notified so I could film it and do like a military tribute, basically, not only for the Lee and Betty Johnson Memorial Charity, but for the other, 19 veterans that are going to be commemorated at that location. So I'm pretty excited about that. I just like with the vehicle running a little bit rough. I'm trying to make it like another 17 days or whatever. Just trying to make it. She said by the end of the month, uh, she should have 20. So I'd be real excited about that. Uh, if you guys want to participate, if you have a military veteran, this is crazy. This is where I'm assuming this is for deceased veterans. But if you have any ideas, or if you want to donate $50 to be, celebrate a military veteran, have it placed there, let me know. You can research it. I figured out what I found it. It was basically like Santa Rosa County military brick ceremony. I forget the exact wording, but you'll find it. Veterans tributes. I think it's what Santa Rosa County military veterans tributes or something like that. You understand? But it comes some kind of vehicle. I'm not sure if it's side by side. But yeah, man, I appreciate you guys, and really wanted to do something a little more epic today, but things kind of went south real quick. Anyway, we're gonna try and have fun. I'm gonna, do some brats. I have the andouille sausage, the beer brats, the sauerkraut, the seasoning mix, frozen seasoning mix. I have some different seasoning like Old Bay. You know what's crazy is like I was looking at the label today. Old Bay is always associated with seafood only. So I was looking at the label and I've used that on different things. And it's so funny. It'll tell you it's good for meat, poultry, salads, and all these other things. So don't think Old Bay is only for seafood or fish or whatever. It's a really good type of seasoning for many things. I love it when I do my beer brats. It's the bomb, my friend. So anyway, peace out, my friends, and let me get up here and try and shut this off. Last time I tried to shut this off, I didn't do too well. Anyway, peace out, my friends. I love talking to you guys, and we be what we be. That's right. We just be outdoors.